wanted to get you back on here and talk a bit about what you've been working on with EventSheet, with tour control. You've been up to some crazy shit that I think the internet would love to hear about.
And a lot has changed. I kind of did. I guess we'll get into tour control, but put a lot of focus on that as kind of our hero product now. It's been really exciting, and we've actually depreciated the front end of EventSheet. Realized sort of halfway through it was a great tool, but as everything progressed around the world, the real value in it was kind of the underlying logic and all that stuff that we built. We don't really need that interface. So we basically turned it into some internal tooling that's powering sort of a lot of other projects, and we're considering just turning it into an MCP.
So the interface is Claude now.
The interface, our database, I believe, is down.
Got it.
I think we finally turned off the server, but probably going to relaunch it as just an MCP. Even internally, we're doing quite a bit of media buying via chat.
For anyone listening that's not familiar with you or EventSheet, like what's a little bit of your background? Like what was the point?
A little bit of background. Running agency for about 15 years. Sort of sit at the intersection of entertainment and lifestyle. I originally came from a booking agency, was a director of marketing, ended up splitting that off into our agency, Crowd Control Digital. So about 50% of the business is music and entertainment, live, recorded, all genres, all sizes, all around the world. And then we do kind of that lifestyle. We do some work in streetwear and cannabis and gaming, anything that's fun. But coming from sort of that touring side of the world, a lot of the work we get tasked with is tour marketing, or festival marketing, or something like that, which is why we frequently end up using your tools. But yeah, EventSheet originally was meant to solve the pain point of we get tour routing with 50 markets on it, and literally gross CSV, couple of flyers, and templated copy. Just making that exist in an ad manager was horrible. Time consuming, painful, error prone. You're accidentally running an ad for Chicago and Denver, or the flyer's wrong or whatever. So we systemized that whole thing. Realized there was logic to it, which if there is logic, it can be automated and coded. So partnered with some wonderful gentlemen that knew how to do that, and built it and shipped it. So there's a bunch of really, really cool logic in there. That was sort of the heavy lift of how should we target? Can we automate that? If we just give you a folder of assets, where should they go? If we only have vertical assets, let's turn off feed placements that are going to crop it, and it's going to look silly. Called it bumper bowling for advertising. It's like, just give us the thing. We're going to remove all of the complicated things you just kind of don't need to see. Help you make good decisions. Still go in and edit it, do whatever, it's on your ad account, but we're going to get you from A to B using some best practices and sort of get it done. So it worked. It smashed. It was amazing.
How long would it take you to build all the ads for a tour before, and then how long did it take with this thing?
It was about 45 minutes. And I'd like to think I'm unfortunately quite fast at this.
I think you are. Yeah.
Probably do it without looking. Just pure muscle memory. And it was, I think, 45 minutes to do a 25-day tour. And that's just speed running. And then 2 minutes to do theoretically infinite tour dates. If we're just ingesting a CSV, putting in the variables and hitting go. The time savings were effectively 100% at scale. Especially if it's the second tour from an artist that uses the same templated copy. It's just, here are new dates, ship it. So that was a fun arc. But yeah, we had already sort of decided to go the API route anyways. We were even starting to realize, like, we started frankly over engineering the thing, trying to make it work for everybody and didn't need to be for touring, and got lost in our own heads and just got to realize, like, the guts of this thing were actually what was interesting. And now that myself and quite a few other people out there in the world are really trying to figure out what they can do with Claude, with ChatGPT, with whatever soup du jour LLM you're using or co-work, kind of all you need is just the guts, right? You just need an MCP server or some sort of API call, and you just kind of say what you want, which is effectively what we were doing on the front end.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and there's probably a bit of like a translation layer, so that Claude knows how to use those tools and knows what the data variables are, and
exactly. So we had already sort of started going in that direction, and then with the last 6 months being the last 6 months, we're like, that is very much so the move. But we realized there was another tool that was actually, I think, more valuable, and something that I'm very, very excited about. So my side quest, which we have spoken about ad nauseum,
about to be the main quest,
I'm pretty confident, is tour control. Tour control is something that I have needed for 20 years. Same general idea. I think anybody that's been in tour marketing or promoting on either side of the fence, there's not a lot of transparency into where a show is heading. We do have, we'll shout out Matt because he's the man we just spoke. We have Prism Insights.
Mr. Matt Ford.
Oh boy. Doing really, really interesting stuff pre-booking, right? It's like, where do we think this is going to go? What are the historicals? We've got a bunch of promoters feeding in data. Really cool to see that kind of data sharing and sort of democratization of data. But it's shows booked. Awesome. Where I normally live is shows been booked. It's time to market. And unfortunately, more often than not, we're getting a call on Monday that the show on Friday that we've all known about for 6 months is a little light. But everybody was so lost in the sauce, reasonably so, that they weren't looking at that week. Or we all get the same ticket counts, but they're not actioned, right? It's got them, received, and they just go away. Maybe you're like, Denver's a little late, but
they got other shit to worry about the week before.
Exactly. You're on the road, the bus.
It's a busy job.
Yeah. So it's exactly that. So the idea was how can we help with that? So kind of same idea. How can we take one of these spreadsheets that the entire industry is run on and turn it into something a little more usable? So that is effectively what tour control is. So we ingest ticket counts, and then we have built an algorithm. We are training on sort of various cohorts of groups by genre and size and region and all types of stuff to start to extrapolate where that show is going to go, and look at velocity of sales, look at, we can append marketing actions to a certain date. So even if it is self-reported ticket sales, like an artist does not have wonderful API access like you guys do, they're getting those CSVs, they can still upload it over time and say, okay, we were wrapping an average of 50 tickets a day, but
we did this campaign.
Now we launched this media buy, and in a bit of a silo, we kind of know that was the only thing that happened, and it went up to 75 tickets a day. We think the delta, grain of salt, was 25 tickets a day, and we can start to do that. So, we're training on velocity so we can make better projections, because same thing, if a show is going to go the distance, don't spend money, save money, or turn it into a data capture campaign.
How effectively can you predict sell-through?
So far, we're at about a 5% margin of error. Relatively limited data set, but
pretty good for a small data set.
Been pretty cool. I think it's similar to your LLM benchmark tests, where it's trained on what it's trained on, so it's great at what it's been trained on. But as we get more and more data, I've been really impressed. Even when we bring in new genres, or a new size artist or a new something, it's been pretty rock solid. So I think it's certainly everybody give me your data, please, all of you. I need it zip files, please. As we get more of those kind of like anonymized cohorts in there, I think it's going to get even better.
You get a flywheel going.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. More people use it. It's going to get better. Kind of the same idea is, everybody at the end of the day has the same goal. Everybody wants the same thing. So the more people can see where the show is going, the promoter can offer to help, the artist can lean in further, management can look at something. And if,
Yeah.
the horrible is happening, we'd much rather downsize a show way earlier versus do it 2 days before the show, or turn it into a fan appreciation show, or scale the room if it's actually going to go the distance way earlier than we thought. So just with that transparency, I think some really interesting stuff can happen, and I've needed it. Again, similar to where EventSheet came from. It's a pain point of mine.
And you're using it like for tours that you're working on.
Active tours. We've had a couple of big arena tours go through it. We got some friends bands. We got a bunch of people starting to use it, getting that user feedback, and really just kind of building in. It's the tool I've always needed. So everybody that comes in, it's like, what hurts? Like, let us fix it.
Yeah.
Let's try to help. And
are there any cool like case study moments that we could talk through of like, you were able to see this and then you did that?
Yeah, we won't give up anybody's sauce.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, there have been a couple of shows where, again, we saw an issue. I had a big arena tour going out, and we saw a couple things where I was like, hey guys, transparently, relatively new platform. I'm pretty sure this date is a little light. So we were talking to one of the big two promoters. And we're like, hey guys, we got to action this thing. And the second we did, it was a lack of marketing. I was like, I think something's just not connecting, or maybe, we were in kind of a sustained period, and normally, we've all seen the same plans, like, we'll turn it on the last 2 weeks. I was like, it might've worked.
Right.
It might have worked. The closing campaign might've absolutely smashed, but I like
sleeping. But it's risk.
Yeah. I like sleeping at night. So I kind of flagged, hey guys, I think this thing is going to be a little light. And in a big room, that's a lot of tickets. So we decided to pull a couple levers a little bit earlier than was originally in the plan, and instantaneously saw the thing start to move in the right direction, and actually ended up scaling the room.
Wow.
We had to push the stage back a little bit.
You went from being behind to actually.
We went from being behind to absolute blowout, which was crazy. And again, like everybody wins in that scenario.
Yeah. And nobody would have had the confidence to do that without the data, I assume.
Right. It's hey guys, we're going to deploy some additional spend or flight it. And, maybe the ROAS isn't going to be what it would be a little bit closer to the show. We don't know if buyers just aren't ready to buy yet. So it was a little bit of a leap, but yes, all the stakeholders felt a little more confident taking that leap with something to look at, with at least something backing it. And again, as something turns into lots of data, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I've been just trying to find all those little things, for independent artists that might not have a big team or whatever. Like, we built in ticket count dunning, where it's put in the promoter's email. It's going to ask for counts and ingest them. Similar to a real count. Also, shout out, great company. Yeah, I mean, it's all those little things. It's if we can all play well together. Similar to your data sharing tool, everybody wins.
Imagine the possibilities.
Yeah, when we all play together. So yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been really, really interesting. It's been cool. It was, again, random midnight hackathon. Can I build this for myself as a non-dev, into, so this is pretty cool.
It works.
I should probably call my engineer.
Yeah. So who can use this right now? Is it built primarily for agencies and like the marketers there?
Fun answer. It was originally built for artists.
Got it.
That said, just rolled out the promoter version. So you can actually building out a bit of a just overview. How is my whole portfolio doing? You can still drill down into individual shows, which is effectively the same view that an artist sees. And we actually also built in data sharing across that. So if a promoter wants to share the counts with the artist, fantastic. They can do that. So everybody's on the same page. And same thing, because we can append marketing movements, the artist can also append what they're doing on the same time series as the promoter. So everybody can see what everybody is doing.
Yeah.
One fewer email, one fewer call. It's just like, thank you. But yeah, we're sort of, I've been toying with a couple of promoter clients, sort of seeing, they're like, this is cool. I wish I could see all of my stuff. 1 second. So been sort of toying with that.
Got to go build the ticketing integration.
Yeah, exactly. I think, we'll do some ticket labs. You guys got that code laying around somewhere.
Somewhere.
Throwback. But yeah, it's been, so it was originally artist, but the idea is, I wanted to build something again. Like, I don't want this siloed tool. Ideally, this should be the heartbeat
integrated in.
Everyone should be able to look at it and get what they need out of it. That's the whole point here is, I would love an agency to be able to look at all of their tours and look for trends. How is rock doing on the East Coast? Interesting. What are those overall macro trends that we need to keep an eye on? Same thing.
I assume, what action should we be taking? Like,
exactly.
What booking should we be making that we're not? What shows need our attention?
Or same thing across the whole roster. What marketing is working these days? Pass it off to the internal team, pass it off to the agency, whatever. Rising tide raises all ships sort of thing. Just like the more data is in there, the more interesting it'll be.
What I asked was, so are you trying to focus more on providing like the intelligence and the insights that can come out of the data, or are you looking to actually be the engine that's kind of driving the actions down into the tools that you integrate, or both?
You're driving the actions.
We can do it together.
Yeah. No, I think for now it is the intelligence layer. That's where I live. And also just knowing you exist and other people exist, and everybody's already somewhere on sort of the action layer. We need to be ubiquitous, right? Or there's no point. So I am Switzerland. Whatever tooling you bring to the table, ideally we just integrate with everybody. So it's, you need to send an email, fantastic, it's going through you guys. You need something else, it's going over here. You need ads, I got this dope MCP I built.
You sure do.
Maybe we'll use that. But yeah, I think it really is. It's much more so on the data, the analysis, all of that, because other people have solved the execution. So it's let everyone do what they do best. And that's it. So we can surface it and say, push it to here. If you guys have an API or whatever, and we can draft something, great. Or it's just send an email.
I'm curious your take on, from the teams you've worked with, do you think this is taking analysis that they were otherwise doing in spreadsheets and making it 100 times faster, or like they just weren't even doing it because it was so fucking hard?
My job was to do it most of the time, and it was in spreadsheets. I mean, I've been astonished that this isn't as common practice.
More common,
but
hard. Like,
it's tough. It's gross. Like it's dirty business. And again, making sure your trailer's getting there with all your gear at the right time is like a little more important.
Totally.
Still got to sell the tickets, but yeah, I think it's just one of those things that is just hard. It's hard, and I have yet to see anybody really doing it super well. That's why we built it.
I assume, just trying to keep track of the ticket counts and keep that somewhat up to date alone is pretty hard.
That alone is crazy.
Let alone trying to have some predictive model. I assume that's quite rare.
So,
outside of the majors. Yeah,
exactly. Like shout out to all the assistants that are emailing 70 promoters and collecting counts and putting them into a spreadsheet. And I'm so sorry your spreadsheets don't get read. Like, that's the reality. You know, so if we can remove a little bit of pain for them and also get everybody more data, and I would much rather have the assistant flagging that a show is light,
100%,
just looking at it versus emailing that same promoter 30 times because the promoter is busy with a bunch of other shows, reasonably so.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's tough.
Yeah. Sick. Well, what are you most excited to build into it next? I'm curious just to hear like what's cooking in Geoff's mind.
What is cooking in Geoff's mind? That's a good one. Did just build in sort of that ticket count collection. You know, we are not integrated with any ticketing platforms just yet.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. And honestly, that promoter dash, you know, it was a blind spot for me. I was just like, artists, great, we'll solve that. And I was like, what? Wait, promoters exist. So figuring out what that is, and same thing, that data sharing and sort of harmonizing those two data sets, I'm really about. I think we talked about that last time. I was like, that is the holy grail of,
for sure.
Share your data, everybody. We all want
for the greater good.
Yes, for the greater good of sold out shows. So that's been really cool. And I've already seen a couple, you know, called a couple promoters, called a couple artists, was like, can you guys hit this button just because it'll make me happy? And we shared data. I was just like, this is it. This is the direction I'd like to see the world go. So that was pretty exciting. And then, starting to get into what can we do with all this data? It's a bit of a net new data set. So even just spitballing on like, what signal should we even be looking for? And just doing a deep dive and all that kind of stuff has been pretty cool. You know, just should we build in local sentiment analysis on all of the ads and comments, and does that give us any sort of directionality? Fun stuff.
For sure. Yeah. You said something there that I'm curious to dig into a little bit. You said you've had like a couple test cases of getting both the artist and the promoter to share data. What's your take on, and what's your like pulse so far on if there's friction there? Because I think, you know, everybody's marching towards the same goal of like selling the show out, selling more tickets, making sure that fans who would love to be there don't miss it. And hypothetically, everybody could be collaborating. It's really hard right now, right? Like the tools aren't built for that. The data infrastructure is not built that way. So I don't think it's necessarily coming from people not trying to work together. It's just really hard. But I'm curious, from the conversations you've had, are you feeling friction there? Are people excited to do that?
I think it's a really split playing field, right? I think there's some people, and I've been on both sides, right? It's one of those questions when we pick up a client that's either.
I mean, you're still on both sides.
Exactly. So, you know, if one of the questions we ask somebody during onboarding, whether they're an artist or a promoter, is like, how do you feel about data sharing? Like what is the party line? Because we're going to get asked at some point. A promoter is going to ask for a custom audience on Meta. Artist is going to ask for the emails from the purchasers. It's like, what do we do? So I've seen both. I think more people are moving towards wanting to figure something out than 10
years ago. Feels like the tides are shifting. I
mean, because 10 years ago it was no, promoter keeps data. No.
And
I get it, right? It's like, okay, like you need that data. It is your market data. You have invested in getting that data, and that is how you sell shows, and it makes total sense.
Yeah.
But like artist also, data did not exist without artist. So it's there's a little bit of give and take, and just sort of figuring out, and then clearly then get into legality and all that stuff with data sharing. But yeah, I think the tides are turning a little bit. It seems to be loosening up, at least in that mid to low tier. I think as we start talking arenas and everything, there's just different views. But we'll see.
Yeah. I know we're both closely monitoring it and just thinking about, as those tides shift, how we can help everybody win.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and it's I don't know. It's similar. I've seen your data sharing tool, right? It's conversation with somebody yesterday. It's everybody. There's a lot of people working on this problem.
And there's a lot of people who are already sharing data, right?
Yeah,
like a lot of our promoters and venues, they're sending CSVs like every week, right? And it fucking sucks. And like they think that the artist should have that data. They would like the artist to collaborate on the marketing, so that everybody can get the thing sold out. It's hard. So I think, as you said, there's definitely like a split crowd. Some people are already doing it. Some people aspirationally would do it and don't have the time. And then there's some folks who don't want to. And we're kind of the same position of where our customers are already trying to do that, and we can make that job easier with a tool. Like we should do that, and then we can let everybody fall where they'd like to in terms of what tools they use.
Yeah, exactly. Just uncover the option. Right? It's like,
yeah.
You guys play nice however you want. There is a button.
You push the button if you want the button. Yeah. Cool. So can promoters and venues sign up for tour control now?
Yes, they can.
Cool.
There's technically a sign up.
Can we share a link?
I would love to get people on there, and I think
for sure.
It's there is a button and a drop down on our list marketing activities for Hive email or SMS. If somebody happens to send a message, please annotate it on your show accordingly. So we can.
Well, I think sooner than later we can just get the integration done. And
let's go.
Sweet. Well, I'm curious to just like riff a little bit on what else is going on in Geoff AI land. I know these are kind of your couple projects that you've been primarily focused on, but I know you well enough to know that you're fucking around with another 10 things on the side. And I think last time we did this, there were a few cool hot takes that people could kind of take away and try integrating into their workflow right away. And shit's changed a lot since then. Like, I don't even know if Cowork existed then. Like, I think if you didn't know how to use code or Codex, like you couldn't really access the stuff. So shit's changed a ton. So I'm curious how that's impacting the way you and your agency are working. Oh boy.
Yeah.
We opened a can of worms, didn't we?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the world is getting easier and harder. Which
I
is
feel that,
it's now that anyone can do anything as far as I'm concerned. What do you do? So that's the new problem, is like decision paralysis. So on the agency side, all of our admin is gone. Like, it just doesn't exist. It's all automated. Client onboarding, beautiful bespoke dashboards with anything you could ever want to see.
That's all just like
cowork
skills and recurring tasks.
And we have a beautiful Mac Mini sitting right here that is running a Hermes instance that the entire team has access to. We have a shared skill website internally that is need to make a proposal, great, / proposal, bang, all feeding into
How do people interface with that? Are they talking to it through Slack or
Slack? Let's see, what do we have? Slack, Telegram, Discord, pretty much everything. Let's pick your own
so you
adventure.
can just fire messages in?
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, exactly. So prime example, I was out with the team from 12 Labs, beautiful video AI analysis tool, last night. And just to mess with them, I made a proposal for them from my phone while at a bar, and then just sent them a deployed proposal that had like an NDA gate on the thing that they could sign. There's a Stripe link to just pay me if they want. If they do that, it's going to send them a contract automatically. It's going to add them as a client in our ClickUp. Doing an experiment on something else on lead gen, just for a true side quest, and realized that I should probably have a CRM for said leads.
Yeah.
Built a CRM that's pulling in my ad data and all of the leads and tracking the leads and everything in 20 minutes. Just like the running joke internally is just nothing is real. Not meaning that everybody's being deep faked, but just like, if you have an idea, you can probably pull it. Can I build Hive? Absolutely not. Can I build silly internal tooling? For sure. Can we build beautiful proposals without opening Keynote or Illustrator or whatever? Yes. Like we have not sent a PDF proposal in months because everything is a deployed interactive website.
Web page. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great. We can put in way more information if we want to show somebody what we're thinking on creative. Great. This will not be the final creative, but here's what we're thinking. Here's the vision. And it's gotten easy. So all of that admin stuff is out. And then kind of the one thing I'm really stuck on right now is basically like content and trend analysis. So prime example, we do a lot of work in K-pop. Got a request a couple days ago from a large corporation that we work with out there for, hey, we have this release. The group would like some trends. It's like, okay, yeah, we can open up TikTok and Instagram and do whatever. There's some other tools out there that can do it. And I was like, there has to be like another way to do this, to find signal, grab all that data, analyze all that data to look for patterns, and actually find a trend, and then kind of get in this existential, like, what's a trend? But a lot of stuff like that. Really, again, we just keep shouting out random companies that I love. We use 12 Labs a lot for their video analysis, and even just stuff like client asks us for content strategy. We will literally download every video they have ever posted, throw it into an analysis tool, and say, based on the engagement and results and success of these posts,
what should we do more of? What should we do less of?
Pull out the top 10%, and then tell us exactly what to make and why.
Wow.
And that's working. Which is
did looking for trends work? Like, were you able to pull something out that then you could kind of run a campaign against? Yeah.
Yes is the short answer. It's easier for something like, we have a song going quite viral right now. It's easier to like look within that corpus to find opportunity versus, I tried doing a genre wide K-pop analysis. Again, with my
too much data,
it's too much data. There's too much noise. You got to find the signal. And, like the first thing that pops up was like, you should do dance choreography. It's like, yeah, for sure. Like that's, I don't know if that's a trend.
No shit, Claude.
They're like, it works. I'm like, duh. But actually getting closer. That is the current, on top of building tour control until my eyes bleed. Once they start bleeding, I start working on this. It's getting closer. It's definitely not batting 1,000 where everything that spits out is there, but building sort of built in like a paper trading system on the back end a little bit, where it's like, okay, historically we would have uncovered this. Looking at that historical data 3 days later, was it still true? And we're sort of like, I'm running that in the background to see if what we're doing historically was right. to sort of train on what to look for now.
Yeah.
But it's getting there. It's just interesting stuff.
For sure. Yeah. I think there's a ton of opportunity for AI to help with like research and ideation.
Yes.
Because so much of what our customers spend their time doing is just like getting out the repetitive volume they need to, right? Like they need to send the announce, they need to send the know before you go. And they don't have time to fuck around and like look at what the artist that's performing 2 months from now posted on Instagram today. But I bet you there's like a lot of really good campaign ideas in there where it's like, you could cross promote this thing. It's the artist's birthday, whatever, right? It's their favorite fucking holiday. And AI just like has so much promise to be able to look at that stuff at scale and bring those moments to you as a marketer where there could be an opportunity to put the right little campaign together that's actually going to bring a cool moment to the fans, and help you move tickets, of course. But so I think, there's some cool shit that we're working on there.
I mean, that's it. It's like our old reports used to be, you spent this much money, and now there is sentiment analysis on top of ticket sales, on top of spend, on top
and
of
recommendations for like, and this is what you can do to try to drive results.
Exactly. Like, hey, just remind me, last time you did this, it worked. Hey, we're seeing a little bit of signal here. Keep an eye on it. You know, we had one recently where I transparently had no idea an artist song was going viral, and neither did they. And it we were working another song, and another catalog song just like popped off, and no one had realized it yet. But our own dashboard, even though we weren't asking for it, I guess shout out.
Did it catch it like blowing up on TikTok or something that you didn't have viz on? Is that why?
Yeah.
Like, I assume if the streams were popping, like you'd see that.
Well, exactly. So and that was kind of it. It's like, no one had known the streams was popping, but we basically, you know, we were looking at post volume for that song, like creates on TikTok, but literally the analysis popped back. It was like, hey, just FYI, I know you told me to look at this. So I guess shout out to AI just doing whatever it wanted. But it was like,
it does do a little bit of that. Yeah.
Like, that's dope. Over here, something crazy is happening. We're like, oh, phenomenal. Like, we should hit the group check.
Thanks, AI.
Yeah. Like, shout out. I think it was Claude. But yeah, I was like, thanks. And same thing. It's labels busy, managers busy, we're busy, ours. Like,
that
happens.
For sure.
Having a dear friend working 24 hours a day, monitoring every signal in the world, is quite nice.
I think a cool thing to dig into for 5 minutes, if we can, is how you guys manage all of this shit and like how you actually get value out of it. Because I know lots of people listening haven't gotten as far along with testing all the shit that you test. Lots of them probably aren't in Hermes. And initially, like, it's kind of overwhelming speaking firsthand. You could think of all the shit that you can do, and it's like, fuck, I don't even know how to interface with, you know, like, okay, I would love this thing that just told me what to do once a day, but like you have to build that. And you have to build sub-agents talking to other agents that are pushing somewhere to your email, to your Slack. So like, how do you interface with this stuff? Do you have different daily briefs that are coming to you that are like, Geoff, here's where your attention's needed? Is it only responding on demand when you guys are sending in requests or queries? Like, I'm sure it's everything.
A little bit of both. You know, for a lot of on-demand stuff, you know, that's kind of where the like shared skills sits. Hey, we gotta build a new dashboard for this person. We gotta build a new proposal. We gotta launch something. That's all on demand. But yes, you know, we have, particularly for like full service clients, one of the things which is now a skill, it is a like hourly, basically like spike detector. Okay, we are going to look at TikTok creates. We are going to look at social growth. We are going to look at streaming. We are going to look at all the above, and just once an hour, go look for it. If something crazy happened, Don't say anything if nothing happened, because that would be crazy. But send an alert if something happened. Great. And that is primarily, we have Slack channels for every single artist internally. It'll just ping that and say, hey, something to look at. Phenomenal. Go take a look.
And then you're giving those things feedback over time and
exactly. Hey, this is
tightening.
Yeah. So, talking about your sales team. Yes, 3 times a day I get an update on all my own active leads, which is, I have my personal email. I have my email.
I know.
Yeah, all the above.
Every time I try to send you a calendar invite, it's like, which of the 7 Geoffs do you want to invite?
Yeah. So, but I have my normal crowd control email, all linked up. I have my calendar linked up. I have technically my iPhone linked up, which is probably a security nightmare, but whatever. WhatsApp, basically anywhere I talk to anybody is hooked up to everything. Please don't hack me. But that basically means, once a day it's hooked up to our sales tracker internally. So in the morning, I get a brief of, here's anything that happened. This person did email you back, and I recommend that we send this follow-up on Wednesday because it will have been 5 days. Same thing. Lead.
Drafting the response for you, I assume.
And then I get one prompt. It's, what do you want to do? Ignore them. I actually texted them. Don't worry about it. But do draft that email to that one person. And all of that then writes to our CRM and drafts the email. And then same thing. Like, I had one happen the other day. I happened to miss an email. Get a lot of emails. My 3 o'clock, like sort of near end of day came in. It was like, hey, they actually approved that quote. It's like, phenomenal.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Awesome. Say thank you and send them a deal memo. So it's honestly, I am getting the most value out of that stuff where it's my time is coming back. So especially on those really important tasks, whether, client retention, sales, whatever it might be. But yeah, all like, that's what I was saying, is like admin is gone. Like we have no more admin. My morning routine is, again, I have, just read them right here. I have a granola meeting sync, which goes through all my transcripts from all my meetings from the previous day. I have a crowd control inbox audit where it just reads literally all my emails and gives me a digest broken apart by project, and gives me updates, does whatever, and I can just flag what I want it to write to memory. Monthly synthesis of sort of what is going on at a broader scale, a weekly check to just clean up my own database. But yeah, it's first thing in the morning I go in and kind of reminds me everything that happened in my meetings yesterday and gives me some actions. And then kind of, again, gives me a whole digest of yesterday's emails and just reminder, this is all the stuff that happened, flag it, whatever. And I've had some really interesting stuff come from that. I think I said we do a bunch of work in Korea with K-pop and sort of all over Southeast Asia. And I had a situation like 2 months ago where I emailed somebody that used to work at Warner Music in Thailand, and I got a bounce back. I just was like, okay, cool. The next day, my email picked it up and it was like, hey, just a thought. You got a bounce back from that guy, which means he might be a free agent. You should talk to him to see if he wants to be a part of that thing you're working on in Southeast Asia. I was like, that's a good idea. Like, I should hit him on his personal email. And it's just like,
it catches these little things that, you don't have time to.
It was that knowledge graph. And I was like, well, you should introduce him to this person on that thing you're working on. I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
We should do that. Like, please write that email.
So to play it back for somebody who's, doing event marketing, which is most of the people watching this, who's earlier in that journey, they're like, hey, I want to get to that state that Geoff's in with no admin work.
Yeah.
You're really just like, it's all just about incrementally doing one little task at a time and either building up a skill that you can call to say, okay, I need to build this asset for an email, or I need to write this subject line. Give me a few variations that I can vet through. Just like iterating on and building up those skills that your team can call is
exactly. No, I mean,
half of it, and then
that's basically it. Is we never do anything twice anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's like anytime, like just kind of I was just helping a friend with this for his own business. Like, just think of the thing that, like, get a piece of paper, put it you as you work all day, and just write every little annoying thing that you do.
That you did, yeah.
And just look at it and say, okay, is this a process, right? Like, do I have a way that I do this? And
do I need to do this again?
Yeah, write it down into bullet points. And at least in my experience, like, don't tell whatever tool you're using exactly what to do. Just kind of say, this is the problem.
This is the goal. Yeah.
How should we fix it?
Yeah.
And like,
in fact, we've even had success. Like, you know, you have Claude connected to Slack, your inbox, Linear, Jira. You can even ask Claude to go looking for it. It's like, what things do we do the last week that are repetitive that we could create a skill or a totally.
So I think kind of I think don't get lost in the weeds. But yeah, that's
easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure. But it really is like, make a skill, see if it works. Run that skill a few times, see if you like the output. Say, hey,
don't give up when it's not good the first time. It takes a couple iterations. Yeah,
it's gonna be terrible. But tweak it a little bit. If 3 weeks later you're like, man, I really wish you would do this, add to it.
Just tell it it's shit. Like, if the output's bad and you literally say, this is shit.
I may have cracked out times. Yeah. I've
try again. Yeah.
I was yelling at LLMs a few times.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it really is that. It's like, you'd be surprised, like you said, everybody should be focusing on the big brain stuff.
Yeah.
Should be looking at the data. They should be looking at all that. But
but it takes getting rid of this, like, admin.
The more that, you know, the same thing. If you're getting a bunch of emails, like, if something doesn't have a connection, just deal with your email inbox. Set it, and then if you like it, tell it, only look at that. Right? Be like, once an hour, give me an update on everything that happened. Is there anything I need to do? No? Fantastic.
What needs my attention? Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Sweet. Well, hopefully that was helpful for people. I think we have some content too on just like some of the basics of what's a skill, how to use cowork. Maybe we'll link to some of that for people too. But yeah, sick, man. Well, what else is on your mind? I'm always curious to hear what else you're watching. Any cool like trends in marketing or music?
All this content stuff. What's on my mind? The comment section. Trying to figure that out. As a broad statement.
Same way.
I think a lot of people, you know, clipping is huge. It's still happening. Clipping, influencer, all that. But we're also just drowning in content at this point. And that's not necessarily where culture happens. You know, versus, so you can post stuff at crazy scale and whatever, and you can get distribution, and that's great, and you get a bunch of eyeballs. But the real fandom, the real culture, the real like conversation is in the comments. So we've just been trying to figure that out more.
Which part? You're trying to like mine what's happening there. You're trying to figure out where to engage.
Exactly. So where to engage, where to do that. You know, taking it. You know, social listening has existed for a long time, but making it's easier now, and making it a little bit more actionable. Or, you know, how can we influence that basically as a channel? You know, I think it goes slightly overlooked. Like artists don't have, promoters don't have all day every day to just mine through their comments and do this, that, and the other thing. You know, that's what giant agencies do for giant brands.
For giant bills.
Yeah, for giant bills, with very expensive tooling. But now, like, anyone
you can do it.
Yeah, anyone can do it with not a lot of tooling. So just as a space, that is interesting. And then
I like that.
just diversifying spend and placements, right? I think
Mm.
the internet's getting a little bit busy. So there's new ad like chat.
Yeah, you were on about this last time.
Yeah. So yeah, chat GPT ads, like CTV. Like we just had an artist that was like, I want to be on TV very specifically. I was like, I'm not mad at that. Like it's somebody sees you on TV, you're big. Like, and we can commercial, and it's now easier to buy CTV ads with all this new, programmatic inventory. So just trying to find somewhere that isn't busy. It's sort of the short answer.
Are you succeeding in that? Like, are you getting meaningful amounts of your spend into these kind of non-traditional channels, or it's still 5%?
A lot of it's still experimental. Like we're trying to figure out like where those wins are. But like I think I said this last time, like we've been diving deeper into Reddit ads. There's a little bit more space there.
I believe you said you were doing Bing ads. Is it Bing?
Bing ads, baby. They crush at a very low scale, but they murder because no one else is spending money there.
Three ads, but they all.
Yeah, exactly. 3 ads, but every one of them will sell a ticket. Just looking for new places to spend, new things to do. Really, again, like web-based experiences are now easier to create. It's like, do we just make a game for everything? Maybe. And really going back towards, frankly, like IRL, like just anything physical, tangible, like community based. It's as we all get drowned with AI slop and drastic output and all that, it's like, what's left? Hanging out with 30 people that really fuck with the same thing you do. Like
fighting a good fight.
Yeah, that's just I think we're going back that direction. So trying to figure that out.
Cool. Well, I appreciate your curiosity, Geoff.
It's gotta have fun, right?
You're always fucking around in the weeds. And I think it's cool that
because I automated all of my admin.
I know, but you were doing it before that. And I think it's sick that you're down to share some of the stuff that frankly is like, you're talking about the stuff that gives you your edge. But I think you have the confidence that you're constantly finding the next thing and the next thing. So
it's a big world out there.
Awesome. Well, then I'll let you go. Any last like plugs?
Everybody sign up for Tour Control. Shout out to every company I mentioned. A lot of people doing cool shit out there.
Let's get those integrations built.
Let's do it.
Thank you. Always great to see you.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Cheers.